Hi, Year 5. So this is lesson 5 of the second week on homophones, week commencing the 27th. And I'm just going to do a quick recap really of what you should have done so far. Okay, so this week you should have looked at some of the basic homophones and written some sentences about those. Okay, so you should have done this here. You should have written a sentence for each of these different homophones. Okay, you should have then gone on to look at this lesson. Okay, so the difference between verbs and nouns. So nouns ending in ICE and the verbs ending in ISE. Okay, so we looked at advice and advise, practice, practice, devise, devise, license and license. Okay, I want sentences for these as well, so you're practicing using these words in the right way. Okay, that was lesson 2. Lesson 3, we looked at these ones. Okay, we looked at these specific homophones. I went through them, and then I asked you to do some sentences using these as well. Okay, so that was the lesson 3. Lesson 4, I set you a task. So last lesson, I set you a task, which was to write a diary entry, putting yourself in the shoes of a character. So you're pretending to be a character. You're writing a diary entry as though you are that character. So we're looking at, first person. Okay, I. All right. I asked you to include homophones. So I asked you to include the homophones that we've been looking at. Obviously, you can't do all of them, but put homophones in and practice using them in the right way. Okay. So by now you should have written, well, at least a page of that diary entry. So this lesson, you need to be finishing off that diary entry. When you've finished it, I want you to proofread it, okay? So read your diary entry through. I want you to get a pencil or a pen, okay, and circle your homophones. So put a circle around every homophone you have used, and then check, has it been used in the correct way? Check with the adult at home, have you used the right homophone in the right place, okay? Then, when you've done that and you've checked your homophones, go through and check your spellings, check your punctuation, so with basics, capital letters and full stops, commas, okay? If you've quoted direct speech, have you punctuated it correctly? You can look back on last week's videos for that, okay? Lesson 3, how to develop a character through dialogue. On that video clip, I talk about how to punctuate speech correctly. Okay, so make sure you check that as well. Oh, just not my phone, hold on. Then, let me have a think. Look back then through your diary entry. Have you used a range of sentence starters? Okay, if not, challenge yourself. Start a sentence with a verb. Okay, if you haven't done so, put one in. Edit one in. Okay, so for example, running down the stairs, comma, I stumbled and fell. Okay, sulking in the corner of a classroom, comma, Sophie suddenly realised that she was sulking for no reason, for example. So you can start a sentence with a verb, all right? Start with a fronted adverbial as well, okay? You could start with the past tense, okay? So excited, comma, yeah? Or expectantly, or with an adverb, expectantly or suddenly. You could start with a simile, as quick as a flash, comma. So there's different ways of starting sentences, and we have been through these. So that's why I'm not doing any new teaching on this, because these are things which we've done. So you need to be putting those into your writing, okay? Think about the conjunctions as well in your diary entry as well. So, for example, rather than just writing and, or all the time repeating and, or and then, or then, which seems to happen sometimes, take some of those out and use different conjunctions instead. Okay, so use a variety. All right. Have you used exciting vocabulary? Could you take a word out and replace it with a better word? Okay, so we're really spending lesson 5 finishing your diary, checking your homophones, proofreading, and improving. Okay, editing and improving that diary entry to make sure it is the best that you can do. Okay, again, like I've said before, I'm always willing to read these. If you want to email them to me, if you want to type them up on Word and email them to me, great. Okay, it'd be good for you to practice your IT skills as well. It's actual, your typing skills. So you could do that. That's another thing for you to be doing at home. All right. So I hope you're still well, and I'll be doing a new series of lessons then, and I'll be focusing on some of the summer skills that you may be missing through not being in school. So I'll be going through some of the summer ones, the main ones, okay? Rather than the ongoing ones, I'll be going through some of the main ones from the summer term, which I think are really important for you, okay? All right, I'll leave it there. Bye.